Hey, everyone. Welcome to our brand new channel. I'm so glad you're here today, because we're going to talk about something really important, social anxiety. If you've ever felt nervous or uncomfortable in social situations, or found it hard to speak in front of others, you're definitely not alone. In fact, social anxiety is something that millions of people face, and it can be tough to deal with. But the good news is, it's possible to overcome it. In this video, we'll talk about what social anxiety really is, why it happens, how it makes people feel, and most importantly, how you can manage it. By the end of this video, I hope you'll feel a lot more confident and motivated. So let's jump right in. Let's start with the basics. What exactly is social anxiety? In simple terms, social anxiety is a feeling of intense fear or nervousness in social situations. It's not just a little shyness, it's a much stronger feeling that can make people feel like they can't breathe, or like everyone is looking at them and judging them. This kind of anxiety can make everyday things like talking to someone at school, making a phone call, or even going to a party feel like huge challenges. It's like your mind starts racing with all these worries. What if I say the wrong thing? What if they don't like me? What if I mess up in front of everyone? These thoughts can be so overwhelming that it feels easier to just avoid social situations altogether. The thing is, social anxiety isn't something that people choose, it's something they experience because their brains process social situations differently. It can happen to anyone, and it doesn't mean you're weak or not capable. It's just a part of how some people's minds work, and with the right help, it can be managed. You might be wondering, why do I feel this way? Why do I get so nervous in social situations? Well, there are a lot of reasons why someone might develop social anxiety. Sometimes it can be because of past experiences. Maybe you were teased or embarrassed when you were younger, or perhaps you've had a bad experience speaking in front of others. These negative experiences can stay with you and make you feel nervous the next time you're in a similar situation. In some cases, social anxiety can run in families. If your parents or siblings struggle with anxiety, there's a chance you might feel the same way. This doesn't mean you're doomed to experience social anxiety, but it does mean you might be more likely to have it if anxiety is common in your family. Another reason for social anxiety is the rise of social media. We live in a world where we're constantly comparing ourselves to others online. We see perfect pictures of other people's lives, and we start thinking, why can't I be as confident as them? Or, what if people judge me like they judge others online? Social media can create pressure to look perfect or be popular, and that pressure can make anxiety worse. There are also biological reasons. For some people, their brain chemistry or nervous system might make them more prone to anxiety. This means that even in normal social situations, their body reacts in a stronger way than someone else's would, causing that feeling of nervousness to become overwhelming. So, what does social anxiety feel like? If you've ever felt your heart race or your palms sweat before talking to someone, you know exactly how it feels. Social anxiety can bring up a lot of physical symptoms that make you feel uncomfortable. You might feel like your face is getting hot, or you might get a dry mouth. These are all signs that your body is in fight or flight mode, where it's preparing to react to a potential danger. But with social anxiety, the danger is usually just a regular social situation. It's not just the body that reacts, it's also the mind. People with social anxiety often have negative thoughts like, what if they don't like me? Or, what if I say something embarrassing? These thoughts can be so powerful that they make people want to avoid social situations entirely. They might cancel plans, skip social events, or even avoid talking to others at school or work. This cycle of avoidance can make social anxiety worse. The more someone avoids a situation because of anxiety, the more their brain tells them that these social situations are dangerous. And the more they avoid, the harder it becomes to face those situations in the future. You might think that everyone around you notices your anxiety, but the truth is, most people are focused on themselves, just like you're focused on how you feel. When you're anxious, you might feel like everyone is watching you, judging you, or waiting for you to mess up. But in reality, most people are more worried about themselves than about you. They're thinking about their own nerves, their own worries, and their own problems. This is a huge part of overcoming social anxiety. Realizing that people are not paying as much attention to you as you think they are can be a huge relief. It helps you stop worrying so much about what others think. And once you start understanding that, it becomes easier to focus on the conversation or activity instead of focusing on your own worries. Here are some facts that might surprise you. Around 15 million people in the United States have social anxiety disorder. It's one of the most common mental health conditions, affecting people of all ages. Social anxiety usually begins in childhood or adolescence, but it can happen at any age. Social anxiety can affect anyone, no matter how confident they seem on the outside. People who have social anxiety might be excellent students, athletes, or professionals, but still struggle in social situations. These facts show that social anxiety is a lot more common than you might think. And just knowing that you're not alone can help ease some of the fear and anxiety. So, now that we know what social anxiety is and why it happens, the next question is, how can you overcome it? The good news is, social anxiety is something that can be managed, and it's possible to feel more confident in social situations with the right tools. Here are a few ways you can start feeling better. One of the best ways to deal with social anxiety is to talk to a therapist. A therapist can help you understand where your anxiety comes from and teach you ways to manage it. Cognitive behavioral therapy (CBT) is especially helpful for social anxiety. CBT helps you challenge negative thoughts and replace them with more realistic, positive ones. For example, instead of thinking, "Everyone will judge me," you can start thinking, "I might be nervous, but that doesn't mean people are judging me." Here are some simple tips to help you manage social anxiety on your own. Breathe deeply. When you feel anxious, practice deep breathing. Inhale slowly for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale slowly for 4 seconds. This helps calm your nervous system. Challenge your thoughts. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? And what's the best thing that could happen? This helps you put things into perspective. Take small steps. If you're nervous about going to a party, try starting with a smaller social situation. Talk to one person at a time, and gradually increase your social interactions. Focus on others. Instead of thinking about how you look or sound, focus on listening and engaging in the conversation. When you focus on the other person, it takes the pressure off you. Celebrate your progress. Every time you take a step forward, even if it's small, celebrate it. The more you face your fears, the easier it becomes. Finally, I want to remind you that overcoming social anxiety is a process, and it's okay to take it one step at a time. You don't have to be perfect, no one is. But every time you face a situation that scares you, you're becoming stronger and more confident. You've got this. Social anxiety doesn't define who you are, and you can absolutely manage it and live your life to the fullest. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel